If hell does exist, who undeniably deserves to be there? Pol Pot. That situation was fucking crazy. Jimmy Savile, David Miscavige, leader of the Church of Scientology. Albert Fish, sex traffickers and pedos. Anyone who hurts children. Joseph Mengele, school shooters. People who invite you to a dinner party, and then turn it into a sales pitch for their get-rich whatever they're trying to sell. Literally Hitler. People who get away with lying in court and putting innocent people in prison. Jared the Subway guy. Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot. Committed genocides of all sorts. Child molesters and people who talk in the theater. Rapey religious leaders. Pedophiles and animal abusers, and there are people who talk to familiar sellers about how they are doing when there are long queues behind them. Peter Scully without a shadow of a doubt. The Sacklers. If you hurt animals in any way, or touch children or hurt children in any way, you belong there. Realistically, I don't know if it's possible to enact a crime that deserves eternal punishment. Assuming the existence of an eternal soul, I think even murder victims will get over it after a few centuries in heaven. Having said all that, whoever designed Reddit's search function deserves a spot on the pitchfork carousel. Vladimir fucking Putin. Those of you who disagree, go cry about it somewhere. Josh Duggar. People that approach you in stores, parks, etc. under the guise of wanting to make a new friend but try to sell you on an MLM scheme during the convo. Ariel Castro. Triumphant face. Kitty diddlers. Pedophiles. Pedos, rapists, murderers, and rich people. Just kidding on the last one mostly. Smiley face. Mao Zedong. I know one puffy-faced Russian who should be there soon. Adolf Hitler. Serial killers, rapists, and pedophiles. Satan TBH. Rupert Murdoch. Every cartel member from every video on this app. Smiley face. Anyone who uses religion to scam people out of money. All of them. People who harm animals. Damn Hitler, my boss. Crypto bras. People who don't pick up the slack between cars at the drive-thru. People who move and abandon their pets. There's this Austrian painter. You may have heard of him. His name was Adolf Hitler. He killed a couple million people, or something like that. Yeah, he's probably there. People who leave their shopping carts in the parking spaces. Child killers, child molesters, and people who abuse old people. Devil, me. I jaywalked once. Pedophiles. Audrey Hale. People who watch videos shows without headphones on public transport. Reddit moderators. Nobody. Henry fucking Kissinger. I don't think anyone deserves infinite torture for finite crimes. Jim Jordan. For the beginning, Stewie Griffin. People responsible for monetizing games. Straight into the deepest circle with lawyers, politicians and war criminals. My old plug who took my money and ran. Audrey Hale. Everyone. We're all sinners, right? Child predators. The individuals who harm children. Reddit mods who run any sub that celebrates people dying. Adolf Hitler. Do I really need to explain? Hitler, for obvious reasons. Me. People who cruise in the passing lane. Park him next to Adolf. I'd like to say the leaders of the opposing political party, but that is just circle jerk nonsense. One I can think everyone will agree with is whomever started this woke nonsense. Society has become so frail. Glad that is wearing off. Anyone who harms children. That lady that heads the police union distributing fent from the front page. 64 years old and just butchering her community for self-gain. Absolutely unredeemable. Literally nobody deserves eternal torture. A lifetime's worth, maybe, but eternity? Nobody. Anthony Fauci. Apart from the obvious dictators, rapists, pedophiles, mass murderers, will Andrew motherfucking Tate, Kenneth Copeland and Joel Osteen come to mind. All the pedophiles. Satan, Satanists. Me. You should hear some of the things I've laughed at. That guy's wife. Drew Thompson from my 5th grade class. Pol Pot, Stalin, Vlad Dracul, Jared from Subway. Pedophiles, human traffickers, sex offenders, politicians. Most politicians. The God who created it. No one. Let's leave judgment to a higher power. Mitch McConnell. In a particularly hot corner. Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger. Child predators. Every pedo priest. Jeffrey Epstein, who didn't kill himself. BTW. Child molesters, rapists. Epstein and anyone involved. Henry Kissinger, but he's 99 and still around. Any pedophile or rapist. Could the correct answer be nobody? There is no crime or combination of crimes one can commit in a finite lifetime to justify eternal torment and suffering. Ian Watkins, and I hope he's in the worst part of hell. Redditors. Ian Watkins of Lost Prophets. Leftist Marxists that want to destroy America. Epstein. Joseph Mengele. Jared Fogle. That child violator deserves a pineapple up his backside the wrong way every day in hell. Fred. Child abusers. Pedophiles. Anyone who abuses children, animals, the elderly, or people with disabilities. Those who keep playing victim cards all the time. The guy that developed double ads on YouTube. According to most religions, everyone. No one. Burning forever is cruel beyond anything anyone can do in this world. People who profit off the suffering and labor of others, or destroy the earth for money. Ironically, religious people. Those who believe their religion is the only true one, those who do violence in the name of it, those who try to enforce irrelevant ideas and laws based on their religion, etc. Anyone who believes they have the right to control anyone else. Me, everyone, no one. First off, an eternity is something we can't truly comprehend. Next, go touch a turned of stove, now put that feeling all over your body forever. You are now in fire forever. You could purposely cause the extinction of the human race and not deserve that. Hitler comes to mind first. Based on what rules you're going by, I'd say basically everybody. Just commenting here so I can see who comments: Donald Trump, George Bush, Putin, and any world leader that start wars that impact the life of millions of humans negatively while their own life goes on. Mitch McConnell, Mother Teresa, 99.9 politicians who ever existed. Nobody. Infinite punishment, let alone torture for a finite crime, is inherently immoral. Pedophiles, fake Christians, Donald Trump, Mother Teresa. Look it up. She was evil, intentionally or unintentionally, it doesn't matter. Nobody deserves an eternity of torture. The MF who invented homework. Bastard. All religious bigots. Every single person who has ever lived. Andrew Tate, Ronald and Nancy Reagan, DJT. It does, and we all deserve to be there. That is why Jesus died for our sins. Most gullible religious nutjobs. People that take photos for Christmas cards with their guns. Mitch McConnell, that fuck. The NRA and everyone they've paid. Trump. I started a list, but it got so friggin' long I just quit. I'm getting a sore finger typing on my phone. From the descriptions of his beliefs I hear from the most religious people out there, I have to say God, Jeffrey Epstein, Mitch McConnell, Uday Hussein, the list is long. Anne Frank. People who don't use their turn signals. Or worse, the people who use them after they're already in the lane. We're all the villain in someone's story. Most of the people on this planet. Everyone is in hell and hell is here. Dan Snyder, the person who wrote the Halloween Ends script, the guy who approved the Halloween Ends script. Dead? Hitler. Still alive? Kim Jong-un. Members of ISIS and cartel for sure. People that stops to look at their watch in the middle of the sidewalk pavement. Billionaires. Letting the rest of the world starve. Fuck them. Prophet Muhammad. Rush Limbaugh, and he's there now on the bottom rung. From what I've read, 20, 40 or maybe even more people would be thrown in hell at this point. Hell does exist. People who disbelieve in God in the last day will be fuel for the hellfire. Trump, Putin, 11 Poo. Trump. DeSantis. Those who reject the free gift of God's grace. Christians. Overly religious Christians who force their beliefs onto others. Edit. And the dumb Christians who downvote my comment cause they know it's true. Hillary Clinton. Everybody who doesn't take the opportunity to examine their sins while alive. Upon your death, you will be faced with all that you've done in life. If you cower in fear and denial at that time, you will send yourself to hell. Face hell now. Examine yourself, forgive yourself, and make peace with yourself. Infinite punishment, forever? Nobody could ever do enough damage in a lifetime to deserve that. Not even Super Hitler. No one. If I can control it, everyone gets perfect bliss and freedom forever. I don't care what you've done. You could literally kill everyone on Earth by throwing them alive into a giant vat of sulfuric acid and I'll still give you bliss. If eternity exists, this Earth and everything that happens on it is a minuscule blip. So, even the most heinous act possible should be forgiven, since an eternal punishment doesn't fit even the worst act that could be committed on Earth. If hell is eternal suffering, then I would say no one. Matt Walsh. Not seeing them on the list yet. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Probably me, tbh. Me. I caused my loved ones emotional and mental trauma by trying to unalive myself last year. Matt Gaetz. Andrew Tate. Literally no one. The idea that someone deserves to be tortured for eternity is monstrous. Martha Stewart, the Pope, every US president who's died, the Jersey Shore cast, my mother's husband, people who abuse animals, and whoever created Furby. Ironically, all the far-right religious types who hate gay people and immigrants, conservatives, any and all billionaires, anyone gullible enough to believe in it. Alex Jones. Lost souls, people too far gone for reincarnation. I.e. people who do harm to others. Everyone. Majority of Hollywood A-listers. Definitely someone British. People that walk in groups across the whole sidewalk and don't move over to accommodate more foot traffic. Also, people that remove their shoes and socks on an airplane. The Brits. I am a Brit. Stephen Miller. God. Bolsonaro. Kanye. 45. Honestly, no one deserves eternal punishment for a finite crime. But I do enjoy the idea of setting pedophiles on fire. Weapons manufacturer CEOs. George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, Ron DeSantis. Every single person who votes Tory. DJT.